Mercury will be retrograde from April the 21st all the way to May the 14th. And the key theme for this particular Mercury retrograde season is that of inner expansion. And leading up to this particular Mercury retrograde, we're having actually a triple power bundle of cosmic energies, because we have the new moon on the 19th, we have the total solar eclipse on the 20th, and on the 21st is when Mercury goes retrograde. So the new moon and the eclipse gives that initial energy boost or energetic boost into this Mercury retrograde season. So it's definitely a triple power bundle that we're about to experience. And in this video today, I want to share with you the 5 key things that I think you should know about this particular Mercury retrograde season so you can really make the most of it. Because like I said, the key theme for this particular Mercury retrograde season is that of that inner expansion. And the first key thing I want you to know is that you are actually expanding into the newness, because so much has happened since the beginning of the year. A lot of healing was happening, a lot of uncovering was happening, a lot of growth and transformation was happening. And now throughout this Mercury retrograde season, you're really being invited and also cosmically assisted to expand into that newness, because you're no longer who you were at the beginning of the year. I mean, wouldn't you agree that since the beginning of the year, you have grown quite a lot, maybe experienced a lot as well, maybe you have let go of a lot as well, or realized things that you didn't really realize previously. So now the invitation is really to expand into that newness. Then the second thing I would like for you to know is that you will also be guided throughout this Mercury retrograde season. You will be guided to go over old ground, meaning to revisit certain things that you thought you have already dealt with. It will come up for review again to see, have you really let that go? Is there anything else that you may need to learn from this? You may then realize that a lot of things are coming up for your attention, really asking for your attention. And here, this may be a little uncomfortable because maybe you thought like, oh, I already dealt with that. Why is this coming up again? It could also mean that people from your past are coming back into your life again as well. People that maybe you had a falling out with, or maybe people that you just lost touch with them and now they're coming back into your life for whatever reason. Maybe there's something that you still need to learn from that relationship. Maybe there's something that you need to heal, or maybe it's just like a rekindling that is happening. But you will definitely, over this period from April the 21st to May the 14th, and even probably also the 2 weeks after, you will be guided to go over those old grounds to really uncover what else requires healing, what else requires releasing, what requires a change, and also what maybe just requires your attention. Because once you become aware of certain things, then you have that awareness, and with awareness comes the power of choice, because then you can choose to do something about it. Now, of course, you can choose to just ignore it and let it go, or leave it alone, or you can really lean into whatever is coming up and then do your work. Really uncover, what am I supposed to learn from this? What is still holding me back, and what is attached to this, so you can really work the energy with whatever comes up. So that's the second key thing here that I want you to know, that be aware that you will be going over old grounds during this Mercury retrograde season. And then the third thing is that because of you going over those old grounds, you may then actually feel called to make necessary changes. If there's anything that you haven't let go of, but you're realizing that, you know what, maybe it's time. Maybe it's time that I let that go. Or maybe even let go of a person, a situation, a circumstance, or anything like that. Or maybe making certain changes in your life, if you have a business, in your business, in your career, in the people that you're surrounding yourself with, even into your day-to-day approach, right? How you go about life. Maybe there's certain things, some old habits that you're realizing that, you know what, this is really not serving me anymore. And you're really feeling called to make those changes, because a part of you knows that you have grown and all that old stuff is simply no longer in alignment, which is great, because like I said, the key theme is all about that inner expansion. Well, in order to expand, we have to let go of things that don't serve us anymore, right? So that is also what you may be working through during this Mercury retrograde season, that you feel called to make those necessary changes, so you can really step onto that more evolved, more empowered path moving forward. Because this year is all about that soul's growth, really following your soul's calling, stepping into your soul's path. And there are certain things that maybe you have been doing up until this point that no longer serve this higher path. And in order to step into that higher path, what you have to let that go. And here it may feel a little uncomfortable, especially if it's something that you have been working on for a while, or that you have been just, living by, for quite some time. It can be challenging. Which brings me to the fourth key thing here is that I want you to know is that because of all that is going on, there may be a time of unease that you will experience as well, because you have to settle into that newness, right? And anything new isn't always comfortable. Think of it like that. I like to use the analogy of when you buy a brand new pair of shoes. You're not going to go out and go run a marathon, right? You have to walk it in, and it's going to be a little uncomfortable at first. It needs to still be broken in. Well, it's the same thing with you. Anytime you're growing, anytime you're ascending, you're awakening more, you're changing, you're having that inner transformation, you need to settle into that. And it may be going over these old grounds. It can also cause a time of unease because you're realizing certain things that no longer serve you, that no longer fit, and you feel that inner calling that it's time to let it go. That can also cause some unease. It can also even cause problems with your friends and family as well if you're changing things. If, let's say, you're saying like, I need to take a step back, or things like that, and maybe they don't understand, it can also cause somewhat of an unease as well. Because it's not always easy to let go of things, and especially if you held on to them for quite some time. Even just changing your approach, changing who you are. You have to get used to all of that, and it can cause that inner unease of what is really going on, maybe some inner turmoil, a little kind of like a tug of war, so to speak. So here, just be gentle with yourself. Whenever you're feeling that time of unease, just breathe through it. Just know that it is to your highest and greatest good, that it is not going to be here to stay. This is just a period of inner growth and inner alignment. So just be gentle with yourself. Maybe take some time to just take a step back from life. Maybe be on your own for a little bit, to really do some inner contemplation, to go within more, to maybe meditate more, to really look at your life, to assess what is really out of alignment, what needs change, and those type of things. And then also don't judge yourself if anything is coming up that you deep down know you need to do, that it is to your highest and greatest good. But even though this may even cause some dissatisfaction in the people in your life, trust whatever comes up for you, even if it's not something that other people expect or accept, right? Honor your inner guidance. If you feel you need to do something and it really comes from within, then do that. That is really the most important thing to really make the most out of this Mercury retrograde season, is to honor what is coming up for you. And to just go easy throughout the process. Now, Mercury retrograde season, there's a lot that can happen anyways, where you're feeling slowed down and things are just not working out. A lot of people don't really like Mercury retrograde season, but that's why I always feel called to do a video about the key energy theme for the Mercury retrograde season, to give you something to focus on. Because when you work the energy, then Mercury retrograde season can actually help you really take a leap forward. So work the energy. If you feel called that you need to take some time away from everything, then do that. Honor that call. If you're feeling tired and a little sluggish, do a little bit more self-care, right? But the most important thing is really to be gentle with yourself throughout the process and to work the energies. Now, the fifth and final key thing I want you to know is that you're also now being invited to elevate your vision for your future path ahead, because you have grown. And here, consider how much have you grown since the beginning of the year. Maybe even check in with your intentions that you have set beginning of the year. Are they still in alignment? Because like I said, you have grown. So certain intentions that you set at the beginning of the year, or your goals, they may no longer fit anymore. They may no longer feel in alignment. And now is really that invitation to elevate your view of life, your intentions, your desires for the future, and make them matching to who you have grown into. Because like I said, you have grown since the beginning of the year. And if your intentions are no longer fitting, like it doesn't fit all that way no more, then tune in to see, okay, what do I want instead? What is that more evolved view of my future? What do I want to grow into? And really elevate that. Because like I mentioned earlier, this year is all about aligning yourself to your soul's path, really stepping into your soul's path, like really doing the work. Last year was all about that preparation for that, but now it's like, no, you actually are meant to do that. I have noticed for myself, my business is shifting this year quite intensely that I wasn't prepared for, that I wasn't planning. In the beginning of the year, I had made my intentions for the year, and now I'm realizing that those intentions are no longer in alignment because I have grown, my business has grown, and now my approach around my business is changing, is shifting, it's evolving, let's put it like that. It's not changing into something completely different, it's just simply evolving. And that's what I want to invite you to look at as well. Look at your intentions, look at your goals, and see if anything is no longer in alignment. If it doesn't really fit, then elevate that. What is that newness that wants to come forth now? What is that newness that you're asking to step into, that more evolved path for yourself? Maybe there's certain things that you have felt that inner nudging to step into, but you didn't feel ready, or you didn't think this was the right thing. Tune into that again, because I truly believe that you have been giving guidance all along. Maybe you just haven't been paying attention. And now it's really that invitation to check into that. And then, like I said, to elevate your view for your life. So here are the 5 key things about the Mercury retrograde season. I really hope you enjoyed it so far. If you did, do me a favor, hit the like button. Maybe leave me a comment below and let me know. Are you noticing that those shifts happening? Are you feeling called to step into something more evolved? I would love to know. Leave me a comment below. And maybe while you're at it, even share it with someone. And if you haven't done so already, definitely subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on any of the videos that I post each and every week. But now, how can you really make the most out of this Mercury retrograde season? Now, for one, definitely work the energy on a day-to-day basis. If you're feeling sluggish and tired and unmotivated, maybe take some time to go within. Maybe do a little meditation, maybe some journaling, some inner contemplation, just tuning in, really connecting more with your soul, uncovering your soul's desires. Like, really work the energy on a day-to-day basis. If you're feeling inspired to then, be more active, then do that. Now, Mercury retrograde season, I don't recommend making any major changes and big decisions or anything like that. It's really about that contemplation, really looking at things of what needs changing, and then maybe starting to adjust to that. Not taking some major leaps and then forging forward. That comes after Mercury goes direct again. But now during that time, it's really that time to really assess, okay, are my intentions still in alignment? If not, okay, what do I want to grow into? What is that more evolved view of my life? And really just work that energy and really do a lot of inner work. That's really what comes up here. And then pay attention. What is the old stuff that is coming up for review? And then work through that as well. Do some healing around that. Maybe some contemplation around. Do what you feel called to do to complete it, to end it, to let it go, to release it. And it, of course, takes some time to get used to that new you. Oftentimes we're so busy with life that we're not really taking time out to just be. And that's really the invitation is, take more time out to be. Be with yourself. Get to know yourself again, because you have grown. So work the energy, and I really hope you're going to have an amazing Mercury retrograde season. Like I said, work the energy, and it's going to definitely be to your highest and greatest good. Okay, so thanks so much for watching. Now be sure to check out this video here about awaken your consciousness, a light code activation that can help you really raise in your consciousness. And I look forward to seeing you again in the next video. Until then, make it an amazingly abundant, successful day. Namaste.